This is a software called Papers, which exists for Windows and for Mac. And it's very helpful to organize and manage all the articles, papers, and book chapters that one could have read throughout university studies. This is the actual application. You'll be able to see in the middle here all the articles I've read. I've actually rated them so I can see the ones that I've liked and didn't like. And for each of them, there's the title and authors and date and all that sort of information about the article. If I click on a particular article, I've just gone to my folders here that I've created on the left-hand side. And clicking on a particular article, I'll be able to see it, the actual text of the article here at the bottom. And if I double click on it, I'll be able to see it even better. I can highlight, I can make further highlights and delete highlights. And as I highlight things in this article, you'll be able to see that automatically they'll be added to the right hand side here. So there's a section of general note, which are actually notes that I've written myself and can add and edit. And at the bottom of that, there's notes and marks, and these are the automatic ones. So you'll see that if I remove a highlight, that will also eventually be removed from those notes, and if I add a highlight, it will be added to those notes. And also I'll be able to edit that information, so title, author, and all that information, I can edit it here if I want to. This will then be very useful if you're writing an essay on Word, because there's an integration between Microsoft Word and Papers, so it does all your referencing for you and creates the reference list at the end, as I will show later on. So if this is really useful, because if I want to, after a number of years, remember what articles I've read about a particular topic, let's say I want to see all the articles I've read about colonization. So I've just written colonization at the search on the top, and you'll see that all these articles are here, and I can click on any particular one and have a look at those details. I can search on any part of the text, or just on the title, author, and all those kinds of things. So then if I open a Word document and say I'm writing a sample essay and I want to then add that reference, so I'm going to touch on the control key twice, and this add-on shows up, and let's say I want to add a reference from Winnicott. I just type Winnicott and I'll select whatever article I want to reference, double click on it, insert citation. So that's a citation. It just shows some random characters, don't worry about it. Let's say a second citation, and I want to reference, say, something about woman. All right, so possibly this article here, and it just adds another article. So let's say at the end I've finished my essay and I want this to create my references. I'll just hit Control again twice and format manuscript. So you'll notice that it changed the characters and created actual references, and then it created the reference list at the end. So just coming back to Papers, let's say that I want to add a new paper onto Papers. So all I need is the PDF. I've got a couple of sample PDFs here. So I am just taking the PDF from the right-hand side and dropping it onto Papers. So for this particular paper, it's actually a journal article, and it has a DOI, which happens a lot for journal articles, and it means that all this information has been automatically filled out. So title, authors, journal, all volume, pages, date. everything's been filled out for me, which is very, very useful. It doesn't always happen. So for older articles, or sometimes if they're just scanned articles, this doesn't happen. So I've got a book chapter here, which I'll drag onto papers 2, and you'll see that none of this information on the right has been filled out. So I would have to come here and be the one that creates that information. But once that information is there, then you can always reference it, and it's, Word picks it up and all those things. So here it is. There's a lot more that could be said about this, but for now I think it's just an explanation of one tool that could be really helpful for university studies. So enjoy.